you. Yes. Excuse me a second. Oh, see, my daddy is going to make a review. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He's going to make a review on Electric Children. Electric Children! It's good. You like it, right? It's about this girl. Right, there's this girl, and she's like, pregnant. Because she listened to music. She didn't do anything else. She was just pregnant because she listened to music. And so, she decided to go and find out who was the musician. Yes. So, it's a good movie. I did a little review. You can listen to my daddy now. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, Cow, you can say something to us. Cow?
Momo.
Yeah, Cow like it too. Yeah, that's the light. Okay. Hey, enjoy the review. Bye-bye.
Alright, that's so awesome. Right. Okay. Alright. There's this girl, right? And like she's like such a good actor, you know, and she's got potential. It's okay to say potential. And okay, so what happened, right? At first I thought they were like them peoples, you know, those peoples that like the Amish. I thought they were the Amish. I saw them in Kingpin. They like stay in these little huts and they hate technology. But actually apparently they're Mormons. I know a little bit about the Mormons. I listened to songs from this thing called the Book of Mormon. It's interesting music. I was very informative. Anyway, so what happens, right? So the girl, she's all like, she discovers there's a cassette tape, and she, from the age of 15, she's all like, she has to learn. The girl's name is Julia Garner, and she has to learn. She has to speak about every day about keeping the law of chastity and etc. Being very religious, etc. Whatever Joseph Smith said. I don't know. I'm not a Mormon. My churro. Anyway. And so, right, and then she finds that she listens to this music, right, like Monkey said, right, and then she gets all like pregnant, and she's like, whoa, how'd I get pregnant? But at the time, right, her brother, Mr. Will was like attacked her, said, get out of the tape, but he was in a very compromising position like this, but they had their clothes on, you know, they weren't even dry doing anything, you know, so it's impossible, you know, you can't get pregnant from that. It's like if you just touch it, even with clothes, you can't get pregnant, right? Hopefully. Anyway, so Mr. Will and they got shouted at. A few months later, she tells her that she hasn't had any periods, and so the mother's all like, dude, we're taking you somewhere to be sure, and they take her out to the city for the first time in her life, I think, and she's all like, yeah, I'm pregnant, hey, immaculate conception, hey, Jesus' child, yay, and the mother's like, liar. So I was like, and then she goes, okay, you're marrying that guy because you're a bad girl for doing your brother, and your brother, he's out of the colony, he's out, he's never coming back, he's a bad, he took advantage of you. And she's like, he didn't do anything. And then Mr. Will's like, I didn't do anything. And the father's like, you're a liar, I'm Billy Zane, and I know when you're telling the truth, and you're both liars. You remember what I did in Titanic? I know everything. And then you did it in the car, didn't you? And then so she's all like, I don't want to marry that guy. That guy, he's not right for me. He's crazy. See, we haven't seen this guy. And then one of her 50 sisters tells her, catches her when she's trying to escape. Her mother gives her the key so she can escape, you know. So anyway, so she gets into the car. She drives off. Mr. Will just happens to be drunk in the back seat. So the girl, she's got a really long name, right? So I don't actually remember the character's name. I just remember the actor's name and Mr. Will. I remember Mr. Will because it sounds so silly. Anyway, so she gets to Las Vegas, the place where she thinks the musician of the tape is, who would tell her, who she could speak to and say, what did you do with that music to make me pregnant, yo? And then she's like walking around, and she just happens to walk into this guy called Rory Culkin. You might recognize that surname, because he's the younger brother of Macaulay Culkin. However, I liked him. He was quite cool, you know. He's a total stoner guy. He's got a really kind of face. See, he's got that face from the Kid of Science, because he's the Kid of Science. And he was also the guy on Hick, if you've seen it. That's described as a provocative movie. I don't know why. Yes. Oh, this movie was more provocative than that movie. It's the same production company, though. I think Rory only works with one production company. So anyway, so Rory, hey, and he's like on an acid trip or something, because he's like totally seeing things. And Mr. Will goes outside. You have to go back and tell the colony that you sinned, girl. You gotta tell them that you sinned. You're a bad girl, and I'm a good boy. And he's like, I didn't do nothing. And she asks Rory, like, hey, can we hang out with you and your band? I think because he has a guitar, he might be the guy, because there isn't that many guys that have guitars, right? And Rory's like, yeah, 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 sure. And so, right, so they go, right? It was so funny. They get in the car and she's all like obsessed with this guy who's wearing this t-shirt with like a cassette tape. This one has a Ninja Turtle, but that one had a cassette tape. So she thought it's a sign. So she goes, right, and they hang out, you know, with those kids. They're like going down these really small isolated roads, you remember when you were teens, you know when you used to just hang out on the streets, just mess around, take alcohol, do drugs. You remember those days. To be 15 again. Anyway, so they go to the band, and then she realizes his type of music is very different, and she kisses the guy, who I suspect is 19 to 22, but I don't know what the law in Nevada is. And then Rory tells him, dude, there's more than one guitar player in the entire world. He's just one guy, and it's not his song. And she's like, I am so depressed. And he goes, tell you what, you can marry me until you find this guy. You know, and if you find this guy, you can go off with him. It's totally cool, you know. You're like, yee. He goes, yeah. Yay! And it was like, that was really hilarious. Meanwhile, Mr. Will had been taking so many drugs that he's like, yeah, the bitches all over the place, dog. Yeah. And then Rory is all like, okay, let's go to my dad's place. He's got food. I've been kicked out, but I think we can sneak in, grab some lunch, and leg it. And okay, so Mr. Will, Julia Garner, Rory, and this some blonde bimbo girl who likes virgin boys go to the dad's house. Rory and Julia Garner go to get food. Mr. Will and the slut go into the pool. Dad finds out about the pool. Those two, Mr. Will goes to jail. The slut is never seen again. She runs down the road naked, and we never see her again. Who knows what happened to her? And Rory's talking to the dad like, dude, and the dad's like, dude, and the dad asks what's going on. He's like, dude, immaculate conception, yo. And dad's like, really? He goes, dude, immaculate conception, yo. And the dad's like, oh, okay, I don't care anymore. Oh, there was a couple of good lines, but I'll tell you that later. Okay, so the story carries on, and Rory and the girl. The girl goes off in the car, and when she's driving, she hears that music again. Rory already told her that this is probably an independent song. It's not like a famous song. It's just like a small band. The cassette tape's old. And she hears this girl in a red car. Okay, break. Okay, two things I have forgotten to mention. One part is, well, mother was telling a story about how she saw a red Mustang, and the red Mustang helped her find her daughter. Now, she was making it sound like it was a true horse story, but actually it was really a story about a true affair where she got pregnant by another guy, not her husband. And, well, it didn't work out, so Julia doesn't know. So, at that point, when Julia sees the car, she realizes maybe the mother was telling a different story than what she thought she was telling. And probably why the mother kept saying nobody outside the girl should know about this story, especially the men, particularly the father. And then there's another thing. It was really funny, right? Because like Rory and Mr. Will was talking at one point, and Rory was asking, "Is that your sister?" He goes, "Yeah." "What's up with her?" He goes, "She's pregnant." He goes, "Dude, did you fuck your sister?" That was the funniest line. Dude. and then Mr. was like, "No." "Dude, did your dad fuck your sister?" Sounded too excited. Anyway, so it was like, okay, so that happened. So those bits were funny. This important. Okay, break over. So Julia follows the car, goes up to the girl, and she goes, my name is Julia. I'm 15, and I heard this music." And then the guy comes out, and the guy goes, he's got this really cheesy old mustache, this goatee thing going on. He's like in his 40s, 50s, and the girl's like, "You made this tape. It made me pregnant." And he's like, "I know this tape. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, girl." And then you look at it, "Oh, I'm your daddy." And the girl's like, "Oh, you're my daddy. I don't think you got me pregnant. Okay, bye-bye." So anyway, she drives off. She's going back to... Where was she going back to, actually? I think she went back to the colony. Yeah, she went back to the colony. And Mr. Will, still in the prison. She went back to the colony to try and get She said if she goes back to the colony and she confesses lies, basically, would they let Mr. Will back? And they said no, but they're still forcing her to marry. So at this point, Rory is all like, I know, that girl is crazy, but that's what attracts me. So I'm gonna go find that girl. And then the actual father, he decides to go find Mr. Will, break him out of juvenile hall, and says, okay, we're gonna go find your sister. So they all drive to the thing, and she's about to get married, and then at the last minute they stop it. But it was really funny how they stopped, because so the actual dad just drives around dramatically around the church and stops in front of the car, and then Rory's like, dude, do we have a plan? And Dad's like, dude, maybe we should have thought of one. And then Julia's like, you guys are stupid. Jumps out of the church into the car. and then Billy Zane comes on and goes, I remember you. And he goes, dude, I know you remember me. And the mother's like, I will not speak from this moment on for the rest of the film. And then the father's like, Billy Zane, is trying to convince Julia to come back into the car. So, if you jump out of the car and come back into this, no one will judge you. At which point, Mr. Will's like, hits the car into Billy Zane and says, drive. And then the actual father's like, yeah. And then they drive off. And then eventually Mr. Will tells him to stop after a few minutes, and he goes, okay, I need to go back to the colony. This outside world, it ain't for me. I'm gonna try and get back into the colony. And Julia Garner's like, here, I have the blue tape. I taped over and made a confession. So take the tape, go back into the thing. So Mr. Will goes back and it's fine. Julia goes off with with Rory, and her and the father gives them the red car, because he doesn't really have money. So and then Rory and Julia decides to live by the beach. And then on the video, on the cassette tape, it gives you the whole, she's sure, she's convinced that it is second coming, and that it's all cool, it'll be fine. And they live by the seaside, so he's doing a nice little, biblical parallel to Mary and, Joseph. So I thought that was quite nice. So and then I did some research and I found out it was a Mormon film. I was like, actually that's kind of cool, because most independent films are very secularist and try to be distanced away from religion, go toward more of a consumer-based society-ish kind of thing. Like in the 90s when they were just obsessed with consumerism, like not those old weird cheesy ass black and white coffee cigarettes type kind of movies. The fact that this was a little bit more religious based, it was very different. So I kind of thought it was great. It was quite interesting, and the acting was quite cool. Rory was funny. Julia Garner, she's got potential, for many, many things. Yes. So that was a good movie. I hope they make more movies with her, because she's good. I think she's like a rising star. Hopefully she won't go crazy like the Lindsay Lohan types, we got Chloe Moretz, and we got Julia Garner. I think. Quite a few people have called Julia Garner, as she'll be big. I'm old school, so I was more of a Keanu Reeves person, and then he made Speed, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed it. I got it part of the Slackers thing, which is like you get one free movie a month for being a student. So and then I sat through the credits. I was quite impressed that it was like a Kickstarter thing, so it had everybody's names and stuff. So I thought that was quite cool. It was a religious base, but it was a nice movie, and it showed all the dynamics. I don't think this movie will get a sequel, but it was a very good movie by that Rebecca woman, who I can't remember the director's name, but that Rebecca woman. So if you get the chance, watch the movie, because it's quite cool. If you like those quiet indie movie, at first I was a bit annoyed because it was doing that handheld camera cliche that most sci-fi movies does now. But I managed to get past that and watch it. That's just my thing. I just don't like that. But the story, the acting, the script, the atmosphere, it was good. It was quite good. It was quite good, and the story was different enough for me to enjoy quite immensely. So if you get the chance, watch it. And I hope, and if you've already seen it and you watched this review, I hope this review was informative. But if you think I have forgotten to say anything, or if you have better insight than me, I'm fine. I want to listen. You tell me. Anyway, thank you for watching this, and I hope you have fun. Tra.